So with the PTS of Season 11 going on right now, one of the questions I'm getting frequently at the channel is what am I going to do between now and when Season 11 starts? Now keep in mind at this point, we have not been given a date as yet on when that may take place. My guess would be anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks from now. So in today's video, I'd like to pass along a few recommendations of things I feel you should be doing before Season 11 begins. What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and typically on a Sunday I would put together a build video, but as I said, I wanted to take a few minutes and answer some of these questions, and as I mentioned at the beginning of every video, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button, and if you enjoyed this, do me a favor really quick, hit that like button as well. It really does help the channel out. Now, as I start this thing off, it's important to mention that this video is really designed for new and returning players, as many of you out there may have already completed a lot of the things I'm going to go over in this video. So again, this is for casual players, people who are just returning. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is expertise. And as most of you know, getting to expertise level 21 in this game is an insane grind, especially for casual players. Now, one thing I recommend, if you look at the different categories that I need to do research on, is playing Countdown. Now, what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to jump into Countdown pretty much non-stop between now and when Season 11 begins. I'm going to choose a targeted loot. For instance, today I'm going to focus on rifles, and I'm going to stick with rifles as my targeted loot in Countdown until I am proficient with all of them, and then I'm going to move on to assault rifles, then marksman rifles, shotguns, so on and so forth. Now you'll see after one run in Countdown, I'll wind up getting a really decent amount of expertise towards my next level. You can see right now I'm at level 10. I'm 87 out of 200. Now we'll get back to that in a moment. However, at this point, I want to touch base on, while this footage is playing in the background, other things you want to focus on. And again, this is for people just jumping back into the game. Now, first and foremost, and keep in mind, this may sound strange to say, but you want to make sure you finish Season 10. Trust me, my friends, every single time a season ends, I wind up getting flooded with messages from people saying, I didn't finish the season. How can I get those items from the seasonal reward track? The answer is you're going to have to farm for them. So again, anytime you can get something that is a guarantee in this game, you want to make sure you take advantage of that. And also with Season 10, you want to make sure you finish the story arc. That way you know exactly what's going on when Season 11 drops, because from the way things sound, it's going to continue to get better and better. Now, the other thing I recommend, and this is for those of you that are new to the game, you're just returning, or you are a casual player, is if you have not reached level 1000 with your Shade Watches yet, you really want to make sure you make that a priority, because you are going to see such a huge difference in how your character performs. And I can say that from experience. So right now I am playing on the PTS, but I'm using my PC character. However, that PC character has a much lower shade level, and you can truly feel that difference when you're playing the game. So again, my friends, for those of you that, let's say you're at shade level 400, 500, something like that, I know it's an insane grind, but it is definitely worth your time. And remember, once you get to shade level 1000, you have maxed out the attributes on your watch, you are totally good to go. Now, at this point in the video, I want to get back to the expertise aspect and go over a few details really quick. Now, in the footage you just saw, it was a round of Countdown, random group, challenge, and difficulty. Takes about 15 minutes of time. Now, in that time, I gained about 40 pieces of gear. You can see when I donated them, I went from 87 out of 200 on my expertise to 101 out of 200. So again, it's a nice chunk of change. It's a great way to gain expertise pretty quick in the game. Now, a lot of you out there have reached out and asked me about the method of creating another character to help your current character level up with your expertise. Now, that's something I have never done as yet. However, I've gotten a lot of requests, so I will be putting that video together later this week. Now, another question I get to the channel is, what items should you focus on leveling up once they become proficient? And in my opinion, you want to focus on the items you use the most. So you'll see with my character, for instance, my Scorpio is at level 10 because I happen to use that all the time. I don't think I have any other items at level 10, but you can see here I'm upgrading my assault drone because I use that with a lot of builds, as well as my Crusader shield. So the simple recommendation is this, my friends: level up things you know you're going to use in multiple builds. That way you actually can feel that difference in the items or weapons you choose on different variations of builds you put together. Last but not least, my friends, I'd like to talk about farming, and for me, for my own gameplay, I'm going to be focusing on mods and skill attachments because they can make the biggest difference when it comes to your builds. Now, the other thing I recommend for those of you that are looking for exotics is you want to make sure you farm the General Anderson mission over and over again, because as most of you know, you get a guaranteed random exotic at the end of every attempt regardless of the difficulty. And I have no idea if that's going to be in the game when Season 11 drops, so now is the time to farm that mission over and over. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will leave a link to a video I put together showing you exactly what it is in the description down below. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel, and remind you, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I will get back to you as quick as I can. One final thing I'd like to mention is that chances are builds are going to drastically change once Season 11 drops because of the introduction of the NINJABIKE backpack. Now, if you have no idea, again, what I'm talking about in regard to that, I will leave a link to a video I just put together about the bag in the description down below as well. It's going to be a complete and total game changer for so many builds out there, but again, the things I mentioned earlier in this video, you definitely do want to make a priority because it's only going to help your character become even more powerful. And if you happen to want to see any other videos in regard to farming or anything else, my friends, let me know what's going on and I will try to put them together as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, like I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Going out.
Incoming hostiles detected. What the hell? Access key detected.